fantastic. Okay, thank you, Miss Helga Zemayan. That was certainly breathtaking. Our next contestant tonight is Miss Gingivitis, here to and amaze us with her unique wit. Hi, my name is Gingivitis. This is my first year at Byrd, and yeah, I like it a lot. You guys got a pretty great school here. You also got a great mascot. You know, terriers. So I've noticed it takes a lot of hard work to be a dog, because dogs are forever stuck in a push-up position. Anyway, you know fishing shows? You know those fishing shows you see on TV? You know, they go out on the water and spend all day fishing, and when they finally catch the fish, they just throw it back. And I imagine it's just because they're not hungry, so they don't want to eat the fish, but they do want to make the fish late for something. You know, bed and breakfast? I don't really like them that much. And I wouldn't really want to stay at one for too long either, because I'd imagine if you stayed at one for too long, by the end of the day, you would start to get hungry. I'd be like, hey, is that all you got around here? Breakfast? Because otherwise, you gotta direct me to a chair and lunch dinner. I'm gonna start a chain of chair and lunch dinners, and I'll put them right across the street from the bed and breakfast. My slogan will be, come on by, you can show up around 1, but you gotta leave at 11, because you ain't sleeping in the chair. I find that a duck's opinion of me is very much influenced on whether or not I have bread. Because you see, a duck loves bread, but he does not have the capability to buy a loaf. I feel that is the biggest joke on the duck ever. Now let's say I was the owner of a convenience store, and a duck waddled in, and grabbed a loaf of bread by his beak and just waddled out. I'd let him have it. Be like, hey duck, come back tomorrow, bring your friends. Let you have some of that Pepperidge Farm bread. You know Pepperidge Farm? That's the fancy stuff. It's wrapped twice. So even when you open it, it still ain't open. That's also why I don't buy it, because I do not need another step in between me and toast. I think it's funny how hotels, they won't have a 13th floor, you know, because of superstition. But come on, people on the 14th floor, you know what floor you're really on. Last time I stayed in a hotel, I would have my music playing pretty loudly, because I like to have loud music. But my next door neighbor, he didn't like it so much. Kept on banging on the wall. I knew what he meant, but I didn't like it. So I decided to mess with his head. I said, go around. I cannot open up the wall. The other day I was in a convenience store reading a magazine, you know, just flipping through some Cosmo. It was pretty good. And then the clerk came up to me and said, hey, this isn't a library. And I just told him, okay, I'll talk louder then. Later that day, I was in a restaurant, and I ordered a chicken sandwich. But I don't think the waitress understood me, because she asked me, how would you like your eggs? So I tried to answer her anyway. I said, well, first I want them incubated, and then raised, and then killed, plucked, cut up, and grilled, and put on a bun. Huh. That actually might take a little too long. I'll just have scrambled. That night I was sleeping over at a friend's house, and she told me, oh, sorry, but you're gonna have to sleep on the floor. Darn, gravity, you got me again. You know how much I wanted to sleep on the wall. I think it's funny how a house will be described as like a 2-bedroom house, because it's really up to me how many bedrooms my house has. See, my house, it's got 5 bedrooms. This first bedroom right here, it's got a king-size bed. That's pretty nice. And this one right here, it's got a full bathroom. And that one over there, it just happens to have an oven in it. And that one right there, it's got a bunch of people sitting around and watching TV. And my 5th bedroom is over in that guy's house over there. Sir, you have one of my bedrooms. I always wondered if a hippopotamus was really a hippopotamus, or just a really cool opotamus. I'd imagine if you could understand Morse code, a tap dancer would probably drive you crazy. You know, people think it's dangerous to stage dive. I don't think it's dangerous. Because if you really think about it, humans are made up of 95% water. So you're you're jumping into something that's 5% away from a pool. And I've been doing comedy for a little bit, and this is my first time. And I like it a lot, you know, there's some good things about it. There's one thing I don't really like about it that much. It's kind of this whole audience setup. You know, every single one of you is facing this way, and I'm the one fool that's facing that way. It makes me really think that there's something really cool going on right behind me. But, no, it's just me. Also imagine if you were viewing this audience from like an aerial view, it probably looked like there's a big group of people chasing me. Finally got me cornered, but then just got lazy and sat down. Thank you, everybody. You've been great. Good night.